All right, let's get right into it. Something huge is happening in the world of sports. I'm talking about a real revolution that's taking the power from the billionaire's box and putting it straight into the hands of you, the fans. Today, we're gonna break down how communities are taking back their teams and literally rewriting the rules of ownership. And you know, this quote from Paul Friedman of the Oakland Ballers, man, it just nails it. For way too long, fans have been the ones creating the passion, the energy, the value of a team, but they've had absolutely zero say in what happens to it. And we've all seen the heartbreak that comes from that broken contract, right? Just think about Oakland, a city that lost its basketball team, the Warriors, its football team, the Raiders, and its baseball team, the A's. I mean, these are decisions made in some far-off boardroom that just leave behind empty stadiums and completely devastated fans. But what if? What if there's another way to do this? See, this isn't just a story about losing teams. It's a story about a really powerful solution that's bubbling up. A whole new model where fans stop being just, spectators on the sidelines and start becoming active, empowered owners. And believe me, this movement has some serious financial muscle behind it. We're talking about a global sports crowdfunding market that's on track to hit $71 million in 2025. And this isn't just some flash in the pan either. It's growing at a steady clip, 13% a year. And that's because it's being fueled by this really fundamental desire for change. But honestly, the money isn't even the most interesting part. It's the emotional payoff. A staggering 82% of fans who invest say they feel a much stronger connection to their team. See, they're not just buying a piece of paper, they're buying a real stake in the team's soul. And that emotional connection, it pays off in a huge way in the real world. When fans have actual skin in the game, they show up. Just look at these numbers. AFC Wimbledon, their attendance doubled after fans helped fund a new stadium. Detroit City and Oakland Roots saw these massive surges of nearly 50%. Ownership literally turns fans into a supercharged 12th man. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how is any of this even possible, right? What exactly changed that lets regular fans buy a piece of their team? Well, let's get into the rulebook that's making this whole revolution happen. So the big game changer was something called the Jobs Act of 2012. Before this law, trying to raise money from the public was a crazy expensive legal nightmare. I mean, it was really only for huge corporations. This act basically unlocked the door. It created a clear, regulated way for teams to raise money directly from their own communities online. So under the Jobs Act, two main playbooks kind of emerged. First, you've got Regulation Crowdfunding, or Reg CF. That's perfect for those community-based raises, up to $5 million. Then you have Regulation A+, which is designed for the really big projects. The bottom line is there are now specific, scalable tools for basically everything from a small community fundraiser all the way up to building a brand new stadium. All right, so what about the big leagues, right? The MLB, the NBA, for the most part, they're still a closed shop for the average fan. But as you can see, even they are starting to bend the rules a little, letting private equity firms invest. Now look, private equity is not the same as fan ownership, but it's a huge deal because it shows that these leagues are finally willing to break their own old rules about who gets to own a piece of a team. It's like the very first crack in a door that could eventually swing wide open for everybody. Okay, enough with the legal stuff. Let's look at the teams that are actually putting these playbooks into action. We're going to check out two totally different models of community ownership. One is this historic legacy team, and the other is a brand new modern blueprint. First up, the OGs, the Green Bay Packers. They are a total anomaly in American sports, a nonprofit team owned by more than 500,000 shareholders. Now, their stock, it doesn't pay you anything, and you can't sell it. It's basically a donation that gets you voting rights, and most importantly, an ironclad guarantee that the team can never, ever leave Green Bay, forever. And now, let's talk about the new school, the Oakland Ballers. They are writing a completely different playbook. When fans invest here, they get real, actual equity in a for-profit company. They've already raised over $3 million and gave their fan owners voting rights on huge decisions. And the results? They sold out their very first game and pulled in over $1 million in merchandise sales. Wild. So what you have here are two really powerful but different models. The Packers way is all about protection, about stability. The Ballers model, on the other hand, is built for empowerment and for shared growth. It's really the evolution from using ownership as a shield to protect a team to using it as a platform that actually elevates it, with the fans right there at the controls. So where does this all go from here? What's next? Well, you've got this perfect storm brewing of new technology, new market opportunities, and changing rules. And it's all setting the stage for a massive explosion in fan ownership. And technology is absolutely the key accelerator here. Just think about it for a second. Blockchain can create these totally secure, tamper-proof digital shares. Mobile apps could let fans vote in real time on everything from jersey designs to the music they play at the stadium. And behind the scenes, you've got AI that can help teams run way smarter fundraising campaigns to find even more potential fan owners. You know, one huge area of opportunity here is the incredible boom we're seeing in women's sports. Leagues like the WNBA and the National Women's Soccer League are just expanding like crazy. And this growth creates the perfect opening for new, community-funded expansion teams that are built from day one with fan ownership right at their core. And maybe the final piece of the puzzle is regulation. There's a real push happening right now to raise that Reg CF fundraising limit from $5 million all the way up to $20 million. And if that happens, wow, it would unlock a massive amount of new capital, letting fan-owned groups go after even bigger projects and maybe even buy into higher-level leagues. So, after looking at all this, what's the one big takeaway? What's the most important thing to remember about this whole shift in sports? Well, it brings us right back to where we started. That quote from Paul Friedman, it isn't just a nice idea anymore, it's actually becoming a business model. The value that fans create is finally being recognized, not just with, hollow words, but with actual shares, real voting rights, and a legitimate seat at the table. Ultimately, what we're seeing is this fundamental change in thinking. It's a move away from the old model of a team being just a private asset for some billionaire and toward a new idea, a team as a community trust, stewarded by and for the very people who love it the most. It's a really powerful transformation, and it completely redefines what it even means to be a fan. And it leaves us with this one fascinating question. As this movement keeps growing, how long is it going to be until the fans of your favorite team aren't just cheering from the stands, but are actually the ones calling the plays from the owner's box?